Hello everyone, welcome back to the Let's Play, or should I say, welcome back to the post-game, I guess, of Digimon 2003. I am your host, Jay from the GameBustersUK. So, what have we got to do left? Technically, we've defeated all of the... we defeated all the leaders. So, and I said, you know, in the last part, that we're not quite done with the card battling, and yeah, that's kind of what we're doing now. So if no one's really, you know, interested in the card battling, feel free to just completely ignore this video, because this will be nothing but card battling. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I will say is it's going to be absolute bullshit. I kid you not. This is going to be the hardest, if not the, you know, like the hardest Digimon challenge, I guess. Slight spoiler alert though, we are not fighting Digimon or Amon. We are actually battling trainers, actual legit trainers. So yeah, these are the hardest trainers. Pretty much they class them as being like, you know, the best, and we get another trophy right at the end if you manage to do it. Now this is the second from last part, so if I do leave any battles in, probably just, you know, just because, why not? This, you know, the second from last part. I think even the last part is going to be post commentary, so you know, I figured why not, let's leave it in. This one's probably going to be quite a meaty video, so again, go grab a drink if you are listening in or whatever, or you can just listen, you know, you can just listen on in, don't have to actually watch the video, do something else. Sometimes that's what I do if I'm like listening to someone, maybe a Let's Player or a commentator or something. I'll just listen to what they're saying, you know, not necessarily watch the video. Sometimes I'll watch it depending on whether I like the game. If I'm busy, I'll just be like, yeah, I'll listen to their commentate, you know, because I like them, you know, I find them entertaining and whatnot. Or listen to music in the background. But yeah, this I don't really know what we really called it, really. Just Dual Island, really. Dual Island 3, I guess I'll call it. Every character, every tamer, I'm just gonna put this out there, cheats, and I mean everybody. This girl right here, she is quite tough. But it gets worse, believe me, it gets worse. But they all cheat. What I mean by they all cheat is that we're only allowed one of each of those epic cards I told you about, as legendary cards. Here, they all have like two or three. So yeah, the computer cheats. However, it is very possible to still win regardless. And I will show you, well, how I did it. Don't get me wrong, this isn't like a foolproof way, because I failed lots of times on this. This is just cruel, you know. Tips in general before I go into tips on defeating her, I guess. Charge terminal, draw more cards. Vicious hacking, you should really get some vicious hacking. Gale of Darkness, use it if you haven't got that legendary card. Why not? Use that if you can. Even using summon Angemons can help. Freeze bugs. You should have had You should have had freeze bugs by now. But if you haven't, then well, I assume you just haven't bothered with the card quest, because really you kind of need freeze bug. You know, way before this point. But if you've only got like one or two, I'd recommend getting as many as you can. And I will just have a look so I can show you guys. I've got a list up here, so I 100% know. Let me have a look from my freeze bug. So you can get it from Booster Pack 10A, which is from Tamers. If you want to get it from Cardmon, it's 7B and 15B, so there's that. You can also get it in a rare Booster Pack. 7B Cardmons are normally the ones that have got the two cards coming out of the side. So if you find them, just try and find the strongest one on that side, and then you can like get freeze bug that way. But I assume you've got it. If you haven't got vicious hacking, I'd recommend getting that as well. let me just have a look for vicious hacking here. 9A, so that's Tamer. 9B is Cardmon, and 13B is Cardmon. I think, I'm trying to think, in the post game, if you go to the far side of the east sector, I think it's called Kicking Forest. I think it's a Kicking Forest. I think it's Kicking Forest. Kicking Forest. Before you go to the mountain area, the Torino Valley mountain area, where Master Tyrannomon was. I believe if you fish there and you fight that Cardmon and you win, you get a booster pack 9. And that should get you vicious hacking. It's either 9 or 7, I'm not 100% sure. But I think it is 9B. Anyway, so she'll be using Desire Access quite a lot. She'll have freeze bugs, so like I say, you need to come prepared with freeze bugs, vicious hacking. The reason I say vicious hacking is just to try and stop her hand, but she also has vicious hacking as well this turn here. So I'm not going to bother because, you know, she's going to take my vicious hacking, so what's the point? I might as well just let her take it. So, you know, in a way she's kind of wasting her vicious hacking, but she isn't. But this is what the opponent likes to do a lot. They like to have a hand with cards that basically destroy your hand, and then they use Desire Access to actually draw their real hand. They're going to be doing it a lot, so get used to it. If you can freeze bug that Desire Access, that could help. You know, I don't know how many times I've like done these battles where I've come literally like a card. Like she's had one card, I've had one card. Her card beats mine, I lose. Literally, it's gone down to the wire. You know, and I don't really think there's, you know, because they cheat. They have like 2 of the same legendary cards, and it's like, well, we can't. So that's not really fair. But I'm sticking with my summon deck. I think I might have named it like delete file or delete folder or something, which is literally like a special summon where I just kind of like try and destroy the hand, maybe destroy the deck, and just, you know, summon monsters afterwards, sort of thing. But I think I do lose here actually. Not the whole match, or just the round, and then we get a chance to beat her in the second round. But although she's tricky, because she's kind of like an all-rounder deck, really. I say I'm a lot. The next tamer is, she is cruel. There's another female tamer, and she is really, really cruel. As in her deck folder, I think is called Cruel Folder. I'm not kidding, something like that. But what I mean by cruel is, well, her deck is similar to my Darkness deck, which is essentially I think I call it the Dark Hole, which is literally like using dark cards to basically destroy the deck, destroy the opponent's deck. So Gala Darkness in it, and she has a similar deck, but I want to say it's slightly better than mine. So yeah, she literally just keeps destroying your deck. And it's really hard to stop her. Really, really hard. The only way you have a chance of stopping her is if you go first and you have a vicious hacking and a freeze bug. If you don't have those 2 cards, let's say if you have a freeze bug and you go second and you try and freeze bug her card, she'll just freeze bug yours. So you kind of need to be first and have a vicious hacking and have a freeze bug. Like I did there, I had a vicious hacking and a freeze bug. So using that combo, you know, I used the vicious hacking. I knew she was going to use her freeze bug, so I cancelled hers with mine. Well, at least I've got Desire Access myself, so I can draw some cards. That's basically why I've just left it as it is. You know, I've only got Powermon, but it won't matter because I'm pretty certain I'll have something to summon after I use it. So my logic is destroy her card. I mean, I know she's going to use her control parts anyway. I know she is. Use Delete Matrix. Force her to summon Digimon. Wish I could have done that so I could have destroyed that as well, but I know it wasn't going to happen. Pretty much just go ahead and use my Desire Access because, you know, I can't use my Gold Aura. There's no point. Go ahead and do that. pretty good because I've got 2 freeze bugs, which means if she tries her control powers, I can freeze them. So I'm just going to summon Angemon. And I'll summon it again. And then she's obviously going to try and counter it, so I can just freeze bug. She wasted hers. Now the good thing is they won't have more than 1 freeze bug per turn. No, that's a lie. Well, what I mean is they won't start off with 2 in a hand, but they might have 2 in 1 turn. What I mean is, like I said at the beginning, where you know they like to have a hand where you know you probably think, oh, okay, that's their hand, and they go about using vicious hacking and other cards and whatnot, and they have a freeze bug. But then they trash their hand and they lose their freeze bug. But then they get another one when they get a new hand. So essentially, you know, you could be like, okay, I'm gonna mess up her hand. She uses a freeze bug, and then you think, oh, she ain't gonna get another one, but she does. So, yeah, and this is not even the hardest one. Like I say, it's Tamer Poemi. That's not a name. Anyway, I think I mean, I don't know if you guys remember this, but I think we spoke to her. She was in the north sector. She was standing in the snow, like outside of the inn, and she was all like, oh, the hero, and the hero will save the day. And apparently she's a big fan of us. Like, she already knows we're going to save the world and all this and this. And she's like, oh, I'm your biggest fan, you know. I'll be your romantic heroine or something. And we're just like, what? Whoa, Anyway, she is cruel, and this is what I mean by cruel. That card there, Misery Gate, as you may remember, we've got it as well. She can go in my deck and take out 3 cards, any she wants, and removes them. So I can't get them back unless I use that green card. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called like E. coli cycle. I think it is. Yeah. Or recycle, E. coli recycle, or something like that. Which makes sense because it's trash, so, you know, recycle stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so I've pretty much got loads of freeze bugs, which is quite useful. But again, it's not like the best thing, of course, but I'd also recommend it, yeah, E. coli cycle. I'd recommend getting these because, you know, especially if they try and trash your deck, you know, you probably want to get some of these cards back. So if you can get them, I would recommend also bring one of these back. Let me just check and see. How do you get? Okay. Oh, okay. So from what I can see, it's either a 10A or an RO4, but I think you can get E. coli cycle 12B, I believe. It doesn't say here, but I think you can. Because there's no way I would have just gone up by tamers, because I didn't fight many tamers, so there you go. So I'd say 12B. 12B does have like a nice, I want to say like a nice amount of rare cards. Revival Charge, that's another good one. You can only use it during the battle phase, but it basically just puts all your cards that are in the trash back into your deck. So, you know, that's a good one. There we go. I've got my Darkness Gale, which is good. But she'll do the same thing. Now, this is what I'm unsure about. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm freeze-bugging her Darkness Gale on purpose. Do you want to know why? Because she'll waste her Darkness Gale and her freeze bug, because Darkness Gale only destroy black cards. My deck is a black folder, so the only card I had to get rid of was freeze bug. So let's waste her freeze bug so that I can use vicious hacking to select a card, get rid of that so she can't get any card back. Use Darkness Gale to trash her hand because she's got no other black cards now. And I've won. It is possible, but believe me, even though you might think I made it look easy, I just got really lucky with my hand. Really lucky. But I'd recommend a sort of destruction deck where you can kind of counter hers. At least that's what I did. That's just the counter I found. And try and get first if you can. If you don't get first, it's not the end of the world, but you will have a harder time, because obviously she'll get in there and she'll be like, I'm gonna trash your deck, la la la. I'm not crazy, but anyway, she compliments us. She's like, oh, how, you know, you did it, cool. Yeah, screw you, I'm sorry, but you're annoying. The amount of times I struggled, man, she's just unfair. Anyway, the next dude, funny thing about him, when I was facing the girl, I don't know what happened. Maybe it was like the PlayStation 3, but like when it finished loading, at least I think so. Unless I was speaking to him or something, but I think I was speaking to her. When it like finished, it teleported me behind him, and I was like, wait, what? How did I get behind him? And I was like, wait, if I skipped him completely, and I just realised I skipped him, and I could have just gone to the next opponent, and I was like, okay. Now, I don't find this guy as hard, but you will if this anti-power affects you. The reason being is, like, my deck doesn't have many like monster cards that I summon normally. So anti-power means absolutely nothing to me because I special summon everything, which means you don't need any power, any blocks. And you know, any of the colour blocks, you know, at the top, white, blue, green, red, black. So if that is a thing for you, then I'd recommend getting cards like Summon Angemon so that it doesn't affect you, or you can try Freeze Bug in it, I guess. He doesn't use Freeze Bug as much. He does have it, but he doesn't use it as much as the other ones. So I want to say, if you've got past that girl before, she's definitely harder, and I want to say you'll have an easier job with this dude right here. I mean, look, that's all he's got now. That's all he's got. So yeah, I would say you would have an easier time, a bit of a breather. It's still a bit tricky compared to the last girl. Man, it's like we've downgraded a little bit, but believe me, it goes straight back up. However, I will say something which is kind of funny. The final tamer that we fight, in my opinion, is easier than the tamer before, and he's supposed to be the king. So it's kind of like, and yes, it's a he. So it's kind of like, okay, then this is odd. Why, you know, why is this tamer weaker than, I don't know, but in my opinion, that's, you know, that's how I see it. So yeah, we'll see. I'll explain it when we get there. I will say using Misery Gate is tricky when fighting these tamers because they have so many good cards. In most cases, I would say get rid of their freeze bugs if you've got plenty of freeze bugs yourself, because at least then if you can try and counter their cards as well, you know, later on. But if you don't, well, I mean, I'd still get rid of freeze bugs anyway, but you know, if you don't have a freeze bug, then just get rid of some powerful cards. I mean, if you lose against any of these opponents, but you know what they're going to draw every time, you know, because they always draw the same folder, the same cards every time. So if you've lost once and you use a Misery Gate, you can say, okay, I know she's going to draw this, I know she's going to draw that. Use Misery Gate to get rid of those cards so she can't. That's the best way to do it. And I'd even recommend getting Security Hall. Security Hall basically picks 5 random cards from your opponent's deck and puts them in the trash. I know it's random, but it's still better than nothing. Maybe put 2 or 3 if you want, and then you can get like 15 cards. You know, by the time you get like 10 or 15, it won't matter because you've probably got at least 2 or 3 rare cards out of a deck. So I'd recommend getting that. Security Hall. Let me see what booster pack you need for Security Hall. 8A, 8A and 7B. So yeah, 7B again, pretty good. You can go to Security Hall and get that. I'd recommend it anyway. But really, this is all, like I say, this is all just optional stuff. If it was world free, you know, it just ends at the credits. This, you know, 2003, this is kind of like extra stuff. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to. But, you know, I'm a completionist and I am a Let's Player, so I gotta do it. It's in my contract. That's what I get paid to do, god damn it. Well, no, it's not what I get paid to do, but, you know, that's just what I like to do. So, even though, arguably, this was very annoying, I won't lie, it was very satisfying when I won, I'll tell you that much. But, you know, this guy, yeah, this guy mainly has a water deck, and he really, don't be too intimidated by him, because I don't find him as hard, personally. I don't. It's tricky, don't get me wrong, but it's nowhere near as tricky as the other two. We are still on the same one, aren't we? Yeah, I think we are. This video is so damn long, I'm already getting confused. No! But of course it still has Desire Access. I think, if I'm honest, I think everyone has Desire Access. At least once. So, yeah. Yeah, there's nothing I can do here. He got Desire Access, so, you know, he's screwing me over. What I decided to do is just use Reviver Charge, you know, put all those cards that I've used back into my deck. You never know, I might get a really fantastic hand, or maybe not. But I think I do, and I don't think I don't know if I actually leave a loss in. I might do, I might not, I'm not sure. I want to say no, but I'm not 100% sure, so. Trying to think of what he has this turn. No freeze bug, it looks like it, so that's nice. Okay, he might get freeze bug, so I'm trying to think, what did I get rid of? Because he's basically got two legendary cards that can destroy cards on the field. So okay, I decided to get rid of that one. Fair enough. Oh yeah, a trick I found out actually. It might be this opponent. Some of the CPU, despite them being really hard, are still kind of dumb. What I'm saying is that he has that delete matrix, right? Delete matrix will screw him over. However, he'll still use delete matrix regardless. There's this one time where, like, the opponent used delete matrix. I still had a card to summon. He destroyed his only monster, and then I was like, okay, I guess I'll just summon mine, and I win. The end. There's nothing he could do. So sometimes they'll kind of do a dumb move and be like, oh, you know, they think they've screwed you over, but they haven't. So that's kind of funny. Do I win here or do I not? I'm not sure. I want to say yes because I doubt I would have edited it out. Okay, I do. Actually, I don't think he actually used delete matrix at all. I don't know why. Yeah, sometimes they do that as well. Sometimes they don't even use the card, even though they would have clearly won if they did. And it's like, ha! Why you not stop me? Anyway, Tamer Pierre, if you remember him, he's the French dude who we spoke to in the legendary gym in the North Sector. Again, that's probably reaching. You guys probably don't remember him. You might do, you might not. But if you go to legendary gym, it's like all made of ice. There's a tamer there, and you know, and he's like bonjour. He's like the only French guy in the game, as far as I know. And you know, he's pretty good. He's definitely harder than what he was, and I think he did have a water deck before. So, all right, now this old dude, I believe is the guy who was like, "What's the meaning of life?" But not, you know, what's the meaning of cards? You know, we spoke to him before, and he's all like, "What is the meaning of battles? What is it? I don't understand. You know, please duel with me so I understand what this is." And he's still kind of pondering what that is. Don't ask me why, he just is. Anyway, he's a really good tamer. So he's up here 4th. I think it's the 4th person. And he has a fire deck. As you may have guessed, he has that volcanic card, that legendary volcanic card. I can't remember what it's called, but it does like 60 damage. So yeah, slightly harder than Tamer Pierre, but I still think that girl with that cruel deck is harder. I kid you not. So come in and use Vicious Hacking. Again, I don't think he uses Freeze Bug as much, but he's still a little bit more trickier. He will use that, what's that card? That card he had in his hand. I've got it as well, but it's basically one of those cards that, you know, have 999 or you know, stats times how many cards you have in your hand or whatever, you know. So but I screwed him over there because you need 4 points to summon that card, and well, he doesn't have 4 points, so 4 red points that is. Oh, Darkness Gale. But of course, even though he has a red card, you know, he still has Darkness Gale. He still likes to screw you over, you know. It's not completely a fire folder, so again, I'm debating on what I should do because I think he can probably stop my Freeze Bug. So I don't think I decided to bother. Honestly, I'm just like, alright, whatever. Destroy my Freeze Bug, destroy Misery Gate, destroy Desire Access, whatever. Vicious Hacking again. So, like I said, definitely harder, but I still don't think he's as hard. But you know. There it is. That's that card I was telling you about. Volcanic Cannon. Yeah, Devimon stood no chance, unfortunately. So I'm going to be losing this round. And he just summons a Gaburamon. And that's all he needs. That's all he needs to win. So yeah, there you go. These tamers are nothing to, you know, nothing to scoff at, that's for sure. Again though, I'm pretty certain you don't need to do this in order to fight the world champion. Because that's what we're doing in the last part, we're fighting the world champion. Because that was the whole point. That was the whole point of the game from the beginning. We wanted to become world champ. But, you know, then plot got in the way, we had to save the world, you know, 10-year-old boy of destiny and all that jazz. It's starting to become a bit of a habit, I think. Anyway, yeah, so we're actually going to do it. That's what we're aiming for, to actually play the game legit. Pretty much. We get a chance to do it. Now this is a tricky one. I want to get one of his PG cards, personally. But I decided to get Omnimon. I don't know if I win or lose. Maybe I do lose. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But I could be wrong, but I believe we might have one more part. I think we've got one more part after this, one more video after this, because I think the last two opponents were really tricky. So I think so technically not the second to last video, but it kind of is. But since it's a long video, I'm not going to have you watch an hour-long video because that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Some people do it, and you know, some people can be pretty entertaining within that hour, but I can't do it. I can't entertain you guys for an hour. I'm sorry. No, this is a stream. I try with a stream, but post commentary, nah. And like I say, it would take forever to upload. So. Now this is the thing I like about Creepy Bomb. Even though he used that volcanic cannon, it does absolutely nothing. And do you want to know why? Because his stats are determined by like how many cards I have in my trash or whatever. So even if you do that cannon, my stats will just go back up. So yeah, those cards can be really useful if used, you know, in certain ways. Anyways guys, we've got past the sort of semi-easier opponents. The next girl is even worse than that cruel girl at the bottom. She is harder than the king. Join me next time guys. I'll see you then.